Okay, so you want to start learning how to do Amascut, and you want to get a kill in the first week for the exclusive aura and title, the Lightbearer. So, first things first, when you go in a 5-man team, I would recommend you have at least one person using Necromancy. You can have everyone using Necromancy, no problem, and it would probably be the easiest way forward. Uh, in this team, we have 4 magic users, and I'm the sole Necromancy user. I would probably recommend having at least 2. 2 is a good number, but you can get away with only 1. And I highly recommend everyone use either magic or necromancy. So that's the first thing. Now, when you first start off, Amascut can do 2 things, like 2 ability attack types. Like as a DPS, you'll get hit by ranged or magic hits. Base will get hit by melee or magic hits. Base cannot get hit by ranged hits except for a certain few special attacks. More on that a little bit later. The knock stabs, by the way, are they're just cosmetic overrides, so not actually the real thing because they're just FSLAs. So, so here's the thing: to know whenever or not Amascut does a magic attack, look at her left hand. She will raise up her left hand, and that's what causes the magic attacks, magic auto attacks here. If she raises up her right hand outside of special attacks like this, more on the special attack later, then it will be a melee attack on the base and ranged attack on everything else. So, right hand raised, that's a melee attack on the base right here, and then that was ranged attack on everybody else. So, if you want to like be able to quickly delineate which one is which, look for the hands. Left is magic, right is range / melee. Now, let's go over the first spec of this fight here. So, you will see Amascut like draw her hands upwards as you see like these 3 orbs, like 3 triple orbs just like rise from the ground here. So, these are kind of random and they correlate to a specific like attack style. So, right here, red is melee, yellow is ranged. Not melee, like yellow is ranged. It is a little bit confusing at first, but make sure that you dial in your head that yellow is ranged. And then blue is magic. What you need to do is that you need to pray the right style in what color is given to you. So it could be red, yellow, blue, red, or blue, red, yellow. Those are the 3 permutations. So, like, an easy way to see is, like, you start right here, you just, like for example, melee, ranged, magic, or ranged, magic, melee, or magic, melee, ranged, in that order. It can't really go in a specific, like, different other way than that. Now, you gotta be careful here, because if you're for example, this is actually like a slow prayer flick, because if you're not super quick with your prayer flicks right here, Amascut can stun you. But if you want to have that tick leniency as the base, then I would recommend use anticipation before the prayer flicks right here. So anticipation, and then do your prayer flicks here. So again, like watch these orbs right here: red, yellow, blue. So melee, ranged, magic with anticipation. If you're really fast, then you don't need anticipation, but if you're not confident in your prayer flicking and you want that extra tick, then make sure to use anticipation first before it all. Now, this is the next spec of P1, where these fissures will open up in the ground. If you leave them be, then they'll spawn a bunch of scarabs. In order to basically not have them spawn a lot, you need to use Bladed Dive within a 3x3 radius of them. So, like, if you click, like, around here, you'll get this one, you won't get this one. But if you click, like, right here, you'll get this one and this one. So, essentially, like, as like another example, if you click on here, you'll get everything around like that square, no problem. And just like keep blade diving over it, and your dive will actually reset cooldown here. Like you can see that my dive is back as I use it there. But it's not enough, sadly, and this is where Necromancy really comes in, and Magic, where with Threads of Fate and very specifically Death Guard spec, you can use Threads of Fate and then really just destroy so many of them with simple Threads of Fate and Death Guard spec. Now, you cannot use Threads of Fate and Soulfire. You cannot use Threads of Fate and Soul Strike because Soul Strike is already an AoE attack, and therefore it doesn't work at all with Threads of Fate. So keep that in mind. Do not use Soul Strike with Threads of Fate, otherwise you won't get the results you want. You have to use Death Guard spec with that stun. So, after that, they don't really do a lot of damage. They do like around 2,000 damage or so. So you can always just use Power Burst of Vitality plus Reflect, no problem. If you missed around like 4 of them, and if you're sufficiently far enough from Scarabs, like you're on the other side, for example, you won't take any damage. The base can't do this as easily because the base will like has like a hidden like condition where if the base goes too far, then the base will get dragged back in and stunned, which is not something you want to do at all. So base needs to stay melee distance all the time, for the most part. And then right here, Amascut does another. Oh, Amascut does a different special attack here. So right here, notice the background glowing in a bright green color. Now, this could be one of 3 colors. It could be bright red, it could be bright green, or it could be a bright blue. And whichever one it is corresponds to the style you need to pray against. So this is green, therefore you need to pray against ranged. If it's red, you need to pray against melee. If it's blue, you need to pray against magic. Because this is like a high-powered 3-hit combo that is similar to the Catcher's Obliterates spec. So right here, you want to like just resonance it and then just tank the rest by switching to the rest. Not much more to it than that. And then just keep on DPSing. And here's another triple thing that you need to pray against. Also, here's another thing that the base needs to keep in mind. So, right here, after this, like, after that spec, you'll notice something right here. Actually, let me go rewind back to here. Right here. Okay, so right here. Triple hits here. You'll notice Amascut just like doing like her own version of like a Dragon Claw spec, which you just like swipe away at the base like super fast like that. That is a very dangerous thing, and it can KO an unsuspecting base. In order to protect yourself reasonably from it, you need to pay attention to what auto attack Amascut is doing. So right around here, notice that she is doing melee attacks right here, melee attacks right here, and then she does the special attack. Ignore the special attack. Keep in mind the auto attack. Then she switches to magic right here. Hang on a minute. Wait, no, that's not it. Sorry, I got my wires crossed here. And now, like, remember, I'm gonna start over this explanation. So right here, look at the melee attacks right here. She did the melee auto attacks as the last thing. Pay attention to that. And then after this special attack, you want to switch back to melee prayer because she will do a 4-hit combo where the first 3 hits will do whatever style she did, and the 4th style is an unblockable hit from the other style that the base will take. So Amascut did melee auto attacks there, which means it will lead to melee attack, and then a melee plus magic attack as the combo there. If she did a magic auto attack on the base, and then she does that quadruple claw hit, then it will be like magic auto attack. And then the spec will be magic attack, magic attack, magic attack, melee attack. Hopefully that makes sense right there. And also, there's another one I completely forgot to talk about because it was in the middle of the DPSers attacking the scares to make sure they killed them all and removed all from the field. So after the prayer flicking spec right here, wait for it here. Like this spec is where she summons the scares right here. She'll do a spec called Bend the Knee right here against the base, and this is like a very high-powered attack that would basically KO the base. The only way to reduce the damage is for all the DPSers to crowd together under the base and tank the hit with the base, and it'll spread the damage across everybody there. We don't do that here, but if you really want to like not deal with like the dives on the fissures here, you can always like go under the base, use debilitate and disruption shield, and then immediately after you get hit by it, you'll know when you get hit when it says your disruption shield blocks part of the damage, and then you can go and do your greater chain, deep impact, and then or like Threads of Fate, Death Guard spec, stuff like that. So that's another thing right here. So you'll notice like right there, like right around like there where the base gets has used immortality and tanks it outright. So immortality is the easiest way to deal with it. So everyone else can just deal with the scarabs. But if you want to keep your immortality, your base wants to keep immortality for something else, for other bits of safety, you can always have the DPSers like crowd under the base for that. That basically covers all of P1 though, actually. Like P1 is only that. And also P1 runs under a timer, and it doesn't really like phase when you hit like a specific LP cap, and it doesn't like loop attacks. So you'll just go straight into P2, no matter like how high her health is. Now, here is P2, and this is where the teamwork really rears its head. So, first things first, you want to split the team in two and kill the gorillas on both sides. There will be an equivalent gorilla right here. Kill the gorilla first, and then after that, you want to kill the crocodile. Now, the gorilla isn't that special, but you might want to use anticipation first because the gorilla can potentially stun you. And also, you should probably pray melee because the gorilla can also hit very hard. Also, and then after that, you want to attack the crocodile. The most important thing about the crocodile is that do not use anything aside from basics. Only use basics. You see this 10k hit on 10k reflect that happened on me. This is because I don't know what happened here. I don't know why I got that here. That's bizarre. Well, either way, you don't want to use anything aside from I use Finger of Death. That's why. Okay, right. I think I use Finger of Death. Yeah, I use Finger of Death, and that caused me to get hit by a 10k there. So again, basics only. Otherwise, learn from my mistake here. You will die. You will literally die if you use a threshold or ultimate or like anything aside from a basic. Keep in mind, FSOA spec autos, they actually will reflect damage, so don't have your FSOA up during this time, otherwise you will get destroyed. Now wait around here. Now the reason why we waited around is because there is a mechanic that isn't shown here, where something will show up is like, it will just say like, you've been inflicted by Anakin's like bleed or something. That is a mechanic that's not shown here, but it will happen around here, and you want to pass it around to your teammates. Where if you don't pass it to your teammates, you will get insta killed. No questions asked. It will kill you through your sign. And what you want to do is you want to tank 3 hits, and then you pass it on to one of your teammates, and then that teammate will pass it on to a third teammate, and then that third teammate will tank the rest. I would say if you want to do it with 2 people, actually, I don't know if 2 people will really work. But yeah, like, when you want to pass it around to the third person, you'll get, like, a timer on your debuff bar. I would pass it on when it hits 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left is a good number. You can reduce the damage a little bit with Reflect, so do that to keep yourself a little bit alive there. And then go inside the portal and go kill the chain warden right here. Now, you see these 3 chains right here. You cannot attack them until this warden dies, so attack it immediately. After that, now go attack these. If you stand right here, the death skulls can actually bounce between each thing here, so you can get quite a bit of damage from death skulls here, which is pretty solid. Kill them all right here. Now, this is a team effort here. So, like, the base outside needs to pull their own weight. So, once you kill all of the chains, call it out for your base. After that, the base will do something that I'll elaborate on later. But once they do it, click on the statue and then run out and go back out of the portal. You cannot use movement-based abilities. Like, you cannot use Surge. You cannot use Dive. You can use Barge or Prisms of Salvation. These will actually allow you to move around with that debuff. Now, keep in mind that, like, now, here's the thing that I said that the base needs to do. So, like, around, like, here, once you called out that you've done your, you killed your chains, the base needs to go to the correct statue and then spam click this to get rid of the chains for good. And then once one of the people in the portals like grabs one of Tumikin's fragments and then exit out of the portal there, then you need to manually run all the way over to here and then use it on the statue right here. And you'll see the other side also done their side. They need to call their own side as well. They need to call when their chains are done as well. And then after that, then the base will have to go click on this statue. This statue is what the base will need to click on after this side calls all of their chains to be destroyed. Now, you can use devotion against these waves to run through them, no problem. But every time you get hit by them, you will lose 3 seconds of your devotion. But that being said, if you are perfect with your clicks and you like move immediately after you load back into there, you use that devotion tick perfectly like I did there, you will have no problems with devotion whatsoever right here. And then after that, go attack Amascut right here. There will be a bunch of these guys crowding around you, but these are no problem at all. Just kill them with AoEs and they'll die on their own, no problem. And if you don't do this, if you don't properly do the mechanic and all those statues, and those statues don't get empowered, you die instantly. Now, here's a good opportunity for you to do a bunch of damage right here. This is basically like a bring him down section from Virago. And Amascut will forcibly phase here at 7.2 million. Either you phase her to that or this bar fills up. Nothing bad happens if it fills up. It just it just shows you how much damage, like, or rather how much like time you have on this phase for free damage. And then P3 is a little bit of a redux of P1, but instead there will be like these floor AoE hits, just like Necatra a little bit. So they're slower than Necatra's P4 a little bit, and they're a little bit like simple to dodge as well. You can like run back and forth like this in order to maintain damage of Necromancy. Like if you run past here, if you run past like this AoE, you're out of range, and using the ability from here will drag you in. So keep that in mind. If you want to do maximum damage with Necromancy, stay in these areas and walk back and forth. And don't worry too much about DPS all that much. Just focus on surviving this and prey flicking. Pay attention to both Amascut's hands and the floor. And just do damage. And all the while, the base needs to also run back and forth while dealing with like the same like prayer flicking spec right here. So like right here, you see those orbs, blue, red, yellow. You like the base needs to deal with that at the same time as moving back and forth. Don't worry too much about doing damage. Focus only on the prayer flicks there. And then sometimes you'll do the quad hit right there, and again, be on the lookout for that. And then she summons the scares right here. Just be careful right here. And then just like delete them as quickly as possible right here. And attack, attack, attack. Necromancy pops up really hard because like Soul Strike, you like even though you can't like AoE them with Soul Strike, you can at least build up a bunch of residue soul stacks by using Soul Sap first. You can do that before using Death Grasp. Death Guard spec as well, for the record. And then again, here's the background turning green. This is where you need to pray ranged. Again, if it's blue, then pray magic. If it's red, pray melee. And again, redux of P1, except it adds in those floor AoEs. So if you learn P1, all you need to do is add in the floor AoEs for P3, and then you're mostly good. So keep doing damage right here. Right here. Now she becomes immune, and P4 starts. Now, only the gorilla is here. This is a very, very, like, interesting one. So, the gorilla starts off as immune. What you need to do is you need to kill one of the scarabs, and then it will be flipped over on its side. You will be given the option to grab it, and then toss it on an enemy. So, kill a scarab. They have 5k LP each. And then grab it and then toss it on the gorilla, and then that will break its shield and allow you to do damage. I would recommend as a Necromancy user to use Death Skulls with Invoke Death, and then kill it as soon as possible there. And then outside, the base needs to keep on killing scarabs and then using them on the portal. So like right here, around here or so. Like, you want to, like, kill a scarab, and then click on kill a scarab, click on it, and then toss it inside a portal, because, as it turns out, these guys, they have the same deal as well. They need to have a scarab toss on them as well to destroy the shields. And that also applies to their chains as well. So, you need to kill 4 scarabs, and then have the base like toss 4 of them inside each portal. On the other side, you might want to have only 1 person go in because there's only 2 people, and have the first person like stay in there, and the second person on the other side tosses all 4 of the scarabs inside, and then the second guy joins and enters the portal that way. So my teammate here takes one of the scarabs and tosses it on the thing, and then it's my duty to go click on the scarab and then quickly click on the thing there. So it's like, click on the scarab, click on the chain, and then you can toss it. As long as you have direct line of sight, you can toss it from afar, no problem whatsoever. Like, it does not matter how far you are. It even doesn't matter outside. Like, you could be all the way over here, and then you can still toss it to the other side of the portal. So the base does not need to move all the way over to the left side there. They can keep killing scarabs and then toss those scarabs into the portal right from the other side. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind right there. So kill the Chain Warden right here. And then get ready to kill the rest right here. So again, call the chains when they die. Have the base in position to click on the necessary statue. This chain is a little bit problematic. You can attack this chain from a pretty comfortable place, but this place is a little bit rough. So in order to get there a lot easier, target the center chain right here. Go into the center of the stairway here, and then surge from here. All you gotta do is just surge, and then you'll end up here, and then you'll be safe from all of the floor AoEs right here, no problem. Kill the chains, call it as you did on P2, and then grab the statue, and then keep going. Now, this is Het statue. His statue, when you call it for the base needs to click on this one, and when this side calls that all of their chains are done, the base needs to click on this one. Keep that in mind. So again, base clicks, you guys kill the chains on that side, base clicks on the statue 3 times, and then one of the person that grabs the Tumican fragment from that side will go outside and dodge all of these waves without any movement abilities, and then you can use it on the statue, and then go back to DPS in here. Keep all of these scarabs alive. Bunch up right here. These Ox will bunch up here for damage as well. Be very careful about these scarabs, because these scarabs, if you are not careful with your AoEs, they might explode and hit you for 2k. If you kill too much scarabs underneath Amascut, you might get comboed out. So be very wary of that. So as a result, be on the lookout for these guys, and once you grab them, then toss them on Amascut, and then that will remove them from the playing field. You cannot toss them into a portal. If you toss them into a portal, they'll still hit you. So grab them, toss it on Amascut during the DPS phase right here. Because as a reminder, when you use the statues, Amascut becomes vulnerable to damage, and you get a massive DPS window to attack her right here. And keep DPSing. Now here's the most straightforward phase, which is phase 5 right here. Oh, okay, it's not super straightforward, but it's kind of straightforward. Now, all of the remaining scarabs right here will be flipped on their back and explode once these bars go down. Everyone uses barricade to block the hits, because this phase is time gated. This is time gated because what you need to do is you need to charge up these fragments of Tumican right here, and what you need to do is that you need to create a line to connect the statues to the fragments right here. So right for these 2 statues, you need 2 people to stand in these locations, right here to connect these 2 things. And for this side, you need 2 people to stand right here and right here. For the farther statues right here, you only need 1 person. So 1 person will sit right here and attack the obelisk for all the time. Now, you want to have everyone right here, because there will also be Ox right here coming from the south side, and these will pose a major problem eventually if you don't kill them at all. These guys absolutely need to die. Otherwise, you will not get the kill. So both of these needs to be charged up, and if you can, kill the scarabs if they're near you, and then toss them at the obelisk, and then that'll allow you to remove them from the field without anyone taking damage. So that's completely filled up, And then once both of them are filled up, tag the Tumikin fragment right here, and then kill these guys immediately. If any of them gets close to here, if they touch this place, everyone dies. It's instant kill. So make sure no one runs through here out of safety, and AoE the crap out of these things. Make sure nothing stays alive, and then you can toss these scarabs against the obelisk, removing them from the field as well, just like that. And then DPS Amascut right here. Now, this is another mechanic that you need to work with right here. So I don't think I get it right here. If I do get it on a later phase, then I'll let you guys know. But basically, what happens is once you tag this thing, once you tag it, Tumikin will call for a random team member right here. So like it'll say, like in this case, go shield us from her shadow. What Amascut will do is she will go to like either like here, or here, and she'll try to rush at Tumikin's fragments. What the called team member needs to do is they need to block the line of sight between Amascut and Tumikin right here. So right here, Goat is standing in front of him right there and intercepts Amascut's hit right here. Disrupting Shield and Resonance will bring this down to like a 700 hit or so. 5k is around like the worst case scenario for the most part. So all the while, like as she's jumping around, she loses her damage immunity as well. This is an opportunity to DPS her down as well. So keep that in mind. You may also want to like remove the scarabs as well here. And then she calls, and that time called for a different team member, Aaron Huns, right here. And Aaron needs to go here as well to block the line of sight. Then Glue is called. Glue needs to go around here to block the line of sight. And then there it is. And then one more right there. Pup needs to go south in order to block that line of sight as well. And then, yeah. Now, you might be lacking damage if you aren't doing a lot of damage from P1 to P4. As a result, here's an alternative you can do. This is what we call a 2-cycle P4. However, if you're struggling with damage, you need as much damage as possible, you can instead do what was called a 4-cycle. Now, remember how back where we said we have like 2 of those things charging at the same time? Now, you don't need to do this. You can only charge one of these fragments and then tag Tumikin's fragment here, and then Amascut will do the entire thing. The trade-off is that like you have to spend longer on phase 5, but you get way more DPS potential, and you get to reduce Amascut's health even lower. So if you're struggling with damage, I would personally charge up all of these fragments one at a time. And all that. I did forget one thing. I did forget, like, these green lines here, because Amascut is not going to sit here and let you charge with any, like, with no consequences. So this is where 2 of your members have, like, the most important role on this phase. So, Amascut will periodically, like, send out, like, these, attacks that will try to intercept these statues. What they need to do is, like, 2 people need to, like, alternate between standing on these, like, standing near melee distance on Amascut to block these lines. So you see these 2 like swap out right here. So right here, she'll do it again. Pup right here is blocking those, and then Glue right here is running back in to block them again. But it's not needed because we just tagged it right there. So that is what you need to do. Like, while these fragments are being charged, 2 people here need to alternate blocking the green lines. If you have one person try to block 2 in a row, that person gets insta-killed. So don't do that. You need to alternate. Otherwise, you will get insta-killed and die. So it requires coordination like that. Right here, like we already went through this. And then again, we just charge it up right here. So someone's out there charging up this statue by themselves, and me and Aaron Hunt are here to charge up this fragment by making a line from this statue to that statue. And I'm here building up everything here. And again, watch as both of these, both of my teammates here are just alternating between blocking them. And then once it's tagged right here, yeah, you see. Now, when you're called, when your name is called for this, your screen will glow gold, and that's like a message for you, but like get in position right now. So get in position right here, and then go in a line of sight, and then block it. There you go. And then keep going at it, and then repeat it, and then do damage. And then you can have them multiple times within like these phases, so keep an eye out for that. So yeah. Again, we did a 2-cycle here where we charged 2 fragments at the same time. If you're lacking damage, then only do 1 statue at a time. And like 1 statue at a time, tag. 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 And then you'll be able to lower Amascut's health to 1.8 mil, which is her phase cap. Which is her cap. By the way, these obelisks aren't really that threatening on their own. Just like, they're very easy to lower, but even if they're alive, they just do like periodic magic hits that do like 2k or so. They're not that deadly, but it's still good to have like the one person that's solo charging the pillar to attack it, and then whoever's alternating and blocking the green lines at the front, at the north side here, attacks the other pillar. The other obelisk, I should say. And then I attack this because like this will allow me to resummon my conjures, no problem, because it will drop target for me. After that, just like get ready for this. Amascut will become completely immune. This is a pure kind of DPS race here. Okay, but I'll be blunt here. I don't know what this is about. I don't know what this thing is for. Like, we're doing a bunch of damage on this portal thing, but truth be told, I actually don't know what happens if you just leave it alive. And killing it, like spoiler alert, this doesn't actually die. It regenerates health like every time it hits 0, but I don't know what it like actually does. Like if it like determines like charging, like this black bar right here, which is important later on, like more on that later. Like if it is based on that, okay, yeah, like when it's noticeably lower. Okay, now I see now. The lower it is, like it will actually like it'll actually slow down this black bar from rising up. Think of this as like a shield, but we'll get into that later. Like, just keep attacking it. Keep clicking on these orbs. They're basically like the Raksha mind orbs. Once you click on them, you'll get like a debuff right here, and a green bar will appear over your head right here. And it will do like a magic hit. It's not that bad. Like, Enhanced Devoted can proc on it. You can use, I think you can use Resonance, you can use Disruption Shield, that's fine. Now, there is an entirely different mechanic that's going on in the background as well that I'm not going over just quite yet. So, watch in the chat box, and your screen will glow gold again, and Tumikin will call a team member's name. Look for either side right here. You'll see a gold light shining on the center of like either side right here, and then when you click on like the light, whichever one gets it, then they'll be sent all the way up like in the sky, like around like here or so, and then you need someone else to follow them. And stay on like the platform right here. On once the person that gets the golden light goes upwards to like, there will be like a bunch of platforms that they'll be levitating on. Now, if you notice right here, there's a thing called like a collapse right here, like a collapse in around like 24 seconds or so. Yeah, 24 seconds. So basically, you're under like a time limit for you're under a time limit. You can extend the time by matching symbols on it. So like you see these 9 symbols here. When the person sent upwards gets like a symbol, that person needs to call out what symbol it is, and then that person has to like step on that symbol, and it'll pause the doomsday clock right here. And then up above, there'll be these warrior ox that have like 15k or so health, and you need to kill them right there. All the while, like, everyone here needs to dodge these floor AoE bombs. And then once those like ox are killed, it will reveal a new symbol that the person up top needs to call, and then it needs to like keep being as fast as possible there. I can't show it from this footage right here, but like rest assured, like once you see it, you'll probably be able to intuit like what to do, and you just need to call it quickly and keep going from there. It's pretty tough, and you will cut it pretty close right here, so keep that in mind. And once everything is filled, whoever got sent up needs to go around like either melee distance or like around here or so, and then everybody else, everyone who was not sent up here, needs to bunch up around here and reflect right here. If you're using necromancy, prepare a Threads of Fate rotation with 5 residue soul stacks, death mark, and then Threads of Fate right here, and then Volley Souls, and then Death Guard spec, and then use bloats. I used Omniguard spec here, but it's better to use bloats, and then just keep attacking them right here, and then Death Guard, and then and then Deathmark would kill them all just like that, no problem. So with Necromancy there, aim to kill them as quickly as possible. There are some other weird mechanics that arise from it, but if you have like a Necromancer there, just have a Necromancer there, just like kill it like that as soon as possible to skip all the mechanics that way. If the Necromancer is the one that has to go north right here, because that has to deal with like a different mechanic here, then maybe consider having the Necromancer stand around here to attack the shadows that way. Once all the shadows are down, the black bar becomes a shield, and this becomes a DPS race, and you have to lower Amascut's like shield before this bar depletes itself completely. If you fail and you don't deplete the black bar in time, then what she'll do is that she'll attack the entire team with like the damage values of like that black bar. So if like 100k, it will be like, I think 100k damage spread across the entire team, which is very deadly. It's either across the entire team or on an individual level. I don't know, but it is something along the lines of that. So anyway, do damage right here. Her LP cap right here is 600k right here, and then you go all the way to P7. Congratulations, you made it all the way to P7. And this phase is actually not too bad right here. So how P7 works is every one of the DPS needs to occupy a quadrant right here. Right click each of these statues, know which statue you're gonna get. So this one is 8-Mekin, this one is Scabrous, this one is Krondus, and this one is Het in the southwest corner right there. So attack right here, she will just do auto attacks right here, no problem. Watch for watch for Amascut calls. She calls Het right here. So what happens is that the person that's occupying Het's quadrant right here, in the southwest corner needs to use Provoke on Amascut. You see her turn right here from Provoke. And then you need to block the line of sight between her and the statue. If you don't use defenses, this will kill you or sign you. So use Resonance and Disruption Shield to block the hits. After that, you have a very massive window for damage right here. So right here, pop an ultimate and all of that, and do a bunch of damage. Now, this is a combination of many different mechanics. Like, you see the screen start to turn red. This means that she's going to do a melee hit, a triple melee hit, just like what you saw in the P1 and 3. And so pre-melee. And she'll also do like floor mechanic stuff as well. But if you play your cards right, you get Amascut's health down to 600k before P7 starts. If you just ult right here, you can immediately wipe out Amascut, no problem. Now, each of these 4 statues has a different mechanic. Het was chosen here, and Amascut gains like a relatively weak soul split effect. It's nothing too crazy, just finish off Amascut immediately. Don't worry too much about it. Imbikin and Het are like the best statues to get, because right here you will get because Imbikin will just inflict a bleed on a random person, but as the goal here is to just DPS down Amascut as quickly as possible, do your ult rotation, and then you'll just finish off Amascut that much, just like that. So yeah, keep that in mind right there. Anyway, Cronus is the second worst one. Cronus will summon 2 crocodiles that are just like just like what you saw on P2 right here. So like, you see these crocodiles, 2 of them will spawn if you get Cronus statue called. So that's a little bit rough. Like, you can't use thresholds, ultimates, or special attack to kill them at all. So they're a little bit annoying, and if they live long enough, they can do a magic attack that would reduce your adrenaline gain and hit like a 4k or so, which is not ideal, but you can kind of get around it by just focusing all your damage on Amascut and killing her before anything else kills you. And as a recap, Het statue just gives Amascut Soul Split. It's not that strong though, so don't worry too much about it. Scabrous is the worst of them all, because Scabrous will spawn a bunch of scarabs on the floor, and she becomes invulnerable. You need to, once again, like, kill them and then pick them up and toss them at Amascut in order to break her shield. You need multiple of them in order to break her shield, and it will impede on your damage rotation, so you will have to deal with mechanics here. So again, it's gonna be a mix of like every mechanic here. So like, it'll have like floor AoEs, and it'll have like the screen turning green, red, or blue, and you have to pray accordingly. For AoE, you just got to be careful. You have to react very quickly for that. And there are many different types of floor AoEs as well in this place. So just look at them, react to them accordingly, learn from your mistakes if you die, and then congratulations, you get your P7 killed, you get your P7 done, and then you get your 2k Amascut kill done, hopefully within the first week by the time you're watching this. And yeah, that's basically it. If I missed anything, or something's going wrong and you're dying more often than you're expecting, let me know in the comments, ask questions. I'm always down to answer them. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, everybody. And stay tuned for more Amascut kills in the future, though, because like there's obviously a lot more room to expand and go even faster. This was actually a PB by around like 17 or so seconds. So this is like a 11:55 or so, which is pretty good if I do say so myself. Yeah, 11:55.2. But yeah, that is how you do a Amascut 2000% within the first week. Hopefully this helps and all that. Doesn't matter what you DD at the end of P6. Well, if you don't kill the shadows quickly enough, they'll do some weird, nasty specs where there will be a green bar that fills up above your head, and then like it'll just like do a lot of typeless hits. I don't know what like really happens there, so that's why my suggestion is bring a Necromancer user and use a Threads of Fate rotation there to just immediately kill all of them, just like that. And you may notice I use Cinderbanes here. Cinderbanes work on everything except for Amascut herself. So when you're inside the portals right here, Cinderbanes work. But but they don't work on the chains. The chains are not poisonable, so they're useless here. So swap them out as you see fit, right there. The majors, in terms of their gear, the base will use Crypt Bloom. Full Crypt Bloom is totally fine. Elite Tectonic with the 3-piece Masterwork is basically like the way to go for DPSers as well. Like, you don't need to use tank armor all that much. If you are struggling, then by all means use tank armor, but I would highly recommend just using power armor for this. So, again, base uses full Crypt Bloom, or you can use like a little bit of power armor here and there. And DPSers use 3-piece Masterwork with Elite Tectonic top and bottom. But yeah, that should actually cover it there. And yeah, that's all from me then. And I will see you all later then.